Well, not a fan is back. It was down here for, shoot, what is it? I think, oh yeah, we're putting catalytic converters back on it. And we're going back to the Gundo mufflers. So right now it has fab speed, crossover, and stock mufflers, which isn't as good a combination. And we also found that like the throttle response and stuff with this combo is pretty horrific, even though it makes great power. Also, the bumper's getting a little toasty, looks like. Woofda. And then also the clutch is slipping on this car. So maybe I'm gonna take a look at it. I've never done a clutch on a 911, but I'm gonna take a peek at it and see if that's something that I want to do with my free time here. But first things first, I'll be taking the rear stuff off. Yeah, so just basically rear bumper, and then we'll be going for the fab speed tips here, then the muffler cans, then the X-pipe. We've got brand new MagnaFlow, I think they're 200 cell cats in the back seat for this thing. We couldn't find any decent used OE cats for this thing for under like $400 a piece, so that's out for sure. But this is essentially his summer daily driver, so if I can't fix it, it's gotta drive back up to a little north of the cities here and have another shop, Auto Edge, maybe do the clutch on it. They're the ones that did the intermediate shaft bearing and rear main on my Boxster S engine about a year and a half ago. So they're really great, but in the interest of time and maybe saving him some cash, I may take it upon myself to do this clutch. A cursory glance under here, it actually looks really, really easy. So the transmission stops just after this K-member, and all the bell housing bolts actually look pretty easy to get to. There's a lateral mount back here underneath all this plastic, and then shift cables are pretty easy. It actually looks like the trans should come out of this thing in about 45 minutes if I'm lucky. So other than supporting the engine, which looks not like a ton of fun, doesn't look too bad. I think I could do it pretty confidently with a couple of ratchet straps. Otherwise, I do have an engine support bar somewhere to support it topside. But I may end up showing you guys how to do a clutch on a 996 as well, just for giggles. Well, the Fab Speed X-pipe is out. The mufflers are out. I really hate Porsche 911 exhausts. Even when you use good quality bolts, they still fight back pretty hard. So that is all out. Before I throw the new stuff in, I am going to pull all the plastic trays off the bottom of this thing and just see. Take a look at the transmission. I don't have a triple square here, so I can't pull the trans like tonight if I just got a second wind of energy. But I do want to take a closer look just because I'm not entirely familiar with the 911 and how it's set up. Well, I decided we're doing a clutch, so I don't have triple squares to finish this all tonight here. It's gonna take a look. Looks like the slave cylinder is 210 mils, and then 213s as a fastener. These are 8mm Allens holding the stubs on. Shifter cables, they're just pry off basically. And then yeah, bell housing bolts. You can see the little guy there, I think she's at 15. 15, 15, 15, 15, 15. Already saw that one. There's our nasty little triple square, which they only threw that on there to put people off from working on their own cars. 15. Just a crap load of 15s basically, and then that one triple square. Once that's all done, I have to drop the trans enough to get this black bracket out, because I need to be able to pull the trans backward enough to get it out as well as down. So I'm really hoping I don't actually have to pull the cooling hoses. I don't think I will have to. It looks like there is enough room to do it without that. But there's definitely an awful lot going on up here, and I will have to support the engine somehow. I still haven't fully decided how I'm gonna do that. I do have a second one of these hydraulic jacks out on my other shop, but I don't think it's worth bringing it down here just for that, especially considering I need it for other projects. And I was noticing when I pulled this O2 sensor out, it was pretty wet. I don't know what's up with the focus on this thing today. The post-cat sensors were in cheaters. I don't know what you call those things, anti-foulers. Those things. And the moisture just built up. So these are the pre-cat, which look, holy hell, sorry about the focus. I do not know what's going on there. But yeah, these look awfully lean. I remember that about the Boxster too, though. I think these just run pretty lean. So yeah, for now, I just have to order a couple of parts. I did break, or at least bend, one of these little shift cable retainer things. It's probably okay to bend back, but I'm guessing it's cheap and probably well worth replacing. I'm also going to get stainless steel nuts and bolts for the exhaust, because these are just awful, awful, awful. They seem to rust up every time. And the stainless nuts and bolts I got for, there they are, for the muffler brackets, those did much, much better. So I think that's probably the wise play. But yeah, I guess I may as well. Oh yeah, and I need to order a clutch kit. Forgot about that. But anyway, that's probably all for now. I'll keep plugging on this once I get some more parts. I have to say, I hate working on this 911, but if the trans comes out okay, this is actually pretty well designed. I apologize for the quick and dirty. This thing turned into an emergency because both my brother's other daily drivers are now crippled as well. Clutch is totally accessible. There's the trans. I will be doing obviously the full kit with the release bearing. So here's what 911 rear wheel drive Getrag G86, I think, G86 looks like. That is a really, really beefy trans. It's the same internally as a Boxster S. So I'm no longer surprised that they are so popular for kit cars. Pretty easy to get to though. I'm just gonna do it up regular style, new clutch over there, yada, yada, yada. Well, it's, I don't know, 6:30. I think I got down here at 5. So that was a pretty quick clutch job. I gotta say, Porsche is actually not too bad to work on. The 911 anyway. This was definitely easier than the Boxster I used to have. I was a little bit worried because I don't have new hardware for these. And then I'm like, of course, it actually comes with brand new stainless hardware. So thank you, MagnaFlow. Not sponsored. I paid for these. Although I would like to be sponsored by you, so yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna bring it back down, throw the cat pipes on it, and then the gundos, which I have up there, and then muffler, and go drive it. The old clutch actually didn't look quite as terrible as I anticipated. It's not worn very evenly, and there's tons of hot spots from it slipping on there. But the disc is actually fairly warped from getting that hot, and it's not very even. So I see why it was slipping. I'm starting to think it wasn't necessarily typical usage that did that to it. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Like I said, I'm gonna drop it down just so it's easier to work on it at this level. Get those cats on there. And I think there's actually a little bracket that goes between them that kind of joins them, a lot like the X pipe that I have to throw on there. Well, she's finally done. I'm very happy about it. Everything's back together. I do hate how the tips are never quite symmetrical on this, no matter how hard I try. I think that's just because the FabSpeed exhausts are actually handmade, and these are not supposed to be split from their cat pipes. So the fact that this has been split from a set, it kind of makes sense. Key. Clutch pedal works, shifter works. Wish me luck. Nice. Time to get it off the lift and take it for a spin. Well, apparently I can also work on Porsches, not just BMWs. Nice.